We have clients from the US, they were telling me that, hey, look, I had $2,500, $3,000 in Social Security, and I ended up with more month than Social Security at the end of the month. And when they moved here to Romania, the cost of living is a lot lower. I mean, for US and Canada, you don't need a visa at all. When you come to Romania, you just take your passport, you go to the Romanian beach side or Romanian mountains, and you say, hey, look, I really love it here. Health insurance in Romania is somewhere around €500 for the whole year. It covers pretty much everything. Yeah, it's a bit of a tamed wilderness, to say so. I mean, you have in Romania a mix of Western Europe. I mean, you'll have clean streets. Now, when you go into a restaurant, it's gonna be something new, some guy that showed up and started something and is full of passion and he likes eggs. And look what I can do with eggs. Have you ever tasted this?
I can.
Are you a Canadian or an American dreaming of moving to Europe, but feeling completely priced out by the high cost of living and also overwhelmed by the strict visa rules? Most people think countries like Spain or Portugal are their only options. But what if I told you there's a hidden gem in Eastern Europe where you can live an incredible lifestyle, according to some, for under €3,000 a month? You can also easily swap your driver's license for an EU one and secure your residency without even applying for a visa before you leave home. Today, I'm actually sitting down with Remus Popovici. He's one of the managing partners at R&R Partners in Bucharest. For the last decade, his boutique law firm has specialized in helping expats, digital nomads, and returning citizens navigate European immigration, business setups, and tax laws. In this interview, we uncover exactly why Romania is becoming the ultimate sweet spot for North American expats. We're also looking at the specific loophole that lets you get residency by opening up a micro company and the crucial civil status trap that returning Romanians must fix before they move back. So whether you're looking for a European retirement, an active digital nomad hub, or you're a returning citizen, this conversation is packed with insider secrets. So let's dive in.
So, R&R Partners, we started this business 10 years ago. It's 2026 May now when we are filming, and we started in 2016 January. Actually, we started a few months faster, but that's when the official paperwork are proof that we were born, to say so. Yeah, it's a strange story, to say so. Me and Alexandra, we go way back in university. We know each other from the first year of university, but we actually went to a book club in Romania, which was held by an expat. And that's where we started seeing that expats do not get the best services. Or, I mean, it was something like if you do not know what to ask, you will not receive. And if you go by price comparisons, you go to the cheapest, but the cheapest is for Romanians, it's not for expats. And then there are certain discrepancies in the quality of the service and so on. So what we tried to do was incorporate or start a business, especially tailored for expats that are coming here, either immigration or business setup or making business internationally. And through this business, we are trying to be a boutique office which offers a high quality service to our clients. Now, going back from 2016, what was the plan to 2026? We remained a boutique specialized in immigrants. Our clientele somehow changed, but coming a bit towards you and your business, Sergio, we are helping a lot of Canadians who are trying to come to Europe, get a residency, and they want to live here, because if you look at Romania, it's a very sweet spot. I mean, even if you're not a Romanian national, as you mentioned with your previous clients, if you are just um, a Canadian citizen or a US citizen, and just have Canadian US passports, the cost of life is going up. Or I don't know, we have clients from the US, they were telling me that, hey, look, I had 2,500, $3,000 in Social Security, and I ended up with more month than Social Security. At the end of the month, I need more Social Security. And when they move here to Romania, the cost of living is a lot lower. I mean, probably with depends on your style of living, but if you come from abroad and you want to really live and have a decent, more than decent living, I would say starting from 1,500 euro, probably 2,000 euro, or if you're a couple, 2 to 3,000, you should be more than better with your standard of living. Especially if you're looking at Romania, you can look at Bucharest, which is a very big city. I mean, if you do not want to get bored during your retirement or living abroad, Bucharest is the best place in Romania. There is Cluj and probably one, two towns, but Bucharest, you have museums, you have expats, you have a big airport if you want to travel in and out. We have Ryanair and Wizz Air, which are 15 euro per trip, per direction flights in Europe. And you can go to Rome one day, you can come back 3 weeks down the line, you are going to Armenia. So as a connection hub, if you want to go places, it's quite well connected. Going back to the US or Canada is gonna take a lot longer rather than being in Spain. Um, if you like the mountainside, we have beautiful mountains near Brasov. There are a lot of selling points, to say so, in Romania. And also, what I want to mention about Bucharest again, the food scene now, it's very, very um, hippish, to say so. Everybody experiencing. There's a new restaurant. There's a new place where you can go out, have some food, have Asian food. You can have Spanish food. You can have Greek food. Anything that you think of food wise. They are starting to pop up, and it's not just Romanians opening a cookbook and looking into the cookbook. We have many non-US citizens who arrived in Romania, they stayed for a few years, and most of them looked and said, hey, I want to open a restaurant. And you can see after 6 o'clock, a restaurant of some guy from Nigeria opening up, and hey, look, this is Nigerian food. Have you tasted it before?
Yes.
So yeah, it's a good place to start. And our business now is taking somebody from when they take the decision, hey, I want to move in Eastern Europe, to getting their residency permit and guiding them through the initial process. And our free fee structure, to say so, we are not on a regular retainer, so you pay by the project. If you need something from us, you pay us. If you don't need something from us, we'll give you a notice a few months before your residency expires. Hey, you have a residency in Romania. Do you want to stay another year or do you want to go back and
Okay. So are you, so I want to go back a little bit. You answered one of the questions I had, which was, uh, uh, when you talked about the 2,000 euros potentially per month, and this is not a travel channel whatsoever, but I'm just very curious because Bucharest is probably one of the more expensive cities in Romania.
Mhm.
So if it's 2,000 in Bucharest, it's probably even like half of that if you go to somewhere like, I don't know, Deva or something or anything like that, right? So, but we're not here to talk about that. But even that 2,000 euros is not bad. Who are your clients again specifically? Because you said you started 10 years ago, and you said that it's changed the clientele. So is it specifically non-EU people coming back coming to Romania? Is that who they are?
We had, so the clients that you mentioned before, they were Romanians coming back to Europe. Those are one type of clients which I've also seen in our
And what do they need help
practice.
for? Like, what do they need help for if they're already Romanian citizens? Or maybe they're
Uh,
not, like me. For example, I do have to put up my hand. I had to get my Romanian citizenship back because we came to Canada back during the Ceausescu time in the early 70s. And when I was
yeah,
an adult and I wanted my EU, I was told that I had, when we left, we were like Romanians without a passport or Romanians without a
yeah, you are
citizen.
stripped from your citizenship.
Correct. Now, I can tell you from personal experience that I got my citizenship back in Canada by going to the consulate here and all that.
Mhm.
It cost me $2,000 and 3 years of my life to get it. That's how long it took.
Exactly. Now the citizenship procedure changed. It's a lot more complicated. So we are helping Romanian citizens or let's say non-Romanian citizens who have a claim for citizenship. And also there are people who left Romania in the 90s, early 90s.
Yep.
When you live with your citizenship, you wouldn't be stripped of your citizenship, but they went to the US. They had
Right.
a child. They got married. They changed their name.
Right.
They
So
got
their
divorced.
children, their spouse, whatever, they would need that.
And now we have a law in Romania which, for example, if you get divorced in your particular situation, I don't know if you are married, for example,
Hmm.
but every civil status event that occurs in Canada needs to be registered in Romania. We have clients that were married and divorced abroad. We need to get that divorce recognized in Romania.
I see.
So that's one type of clientele that we have for Romanians that want to come back. And some things might be done only in Romania. They cannot be done at the embassy. For example, if you got divorced before you got your Canadian citizenship and you were technically only Romanian, the divorce needs to be recognized by court, and the court is in Bucharest. So people would need to be in Bucharest to get this done. We
This is
can help
interesting.
them.
Yeah. This is interesting because what I think I'm hearing you saying is that they're married in Romania, they moved to Canada, let's say, they got divorced in Canada. In Canada, they're divorced, but if they have property back home in Romania, they're still married.
Yeah,
So, but do they, and they may not even be planning to go back to a home to Romania. They just have to get it legally done in
mhm.
Romania so that it's clear. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
when you go to get your new passport, they are going to ask you, what's your legal status? If you
Mm.
say divorce, show me the divorce certificate. Oh, I have it in Canada. No, it must be recognized in Romania.
So
And
if
you need
someone
to,
dies, sorry to interrupt you, but these questions, if
please.
someone dies in Canada and they're still divorced here, but they're married back home, their estate that they have in Romania, if they have family property or whatever, that goes under the old laws of that they're married, right?
Partially with divorces, it's a little bit with debts like the inheritance procedure, it's a lot easier. But if you divorced and you don't have the divorce recognized, they will not give you a new passport or a new
Oh, I
ID
see.
card.
Gotcha.
Or you end up with two passports, your Canadian one, maybe you return to your maiden name if you're a woman, and in Romania you have your married name.
Right.
When you go to get a new passport with domicile abroad, they will ask you for the Canadian passport. When they see the discrepancies in the name, they will not issue it. Also, they will not issue it if there are discrepancies in the name. You left as Maria from Romania and you are married in Canada. They'll say, oh no, you need to fix your name. And we do the procedure of these procedures, we do them in Romania in order for the name to be correct. So there is going to be no discrepancy between them.
But you also
Good.
help non-Romanians that are not EU citizens to move
Yeah.
to Romania specifically, correct?
In the past, we had lower taxation and we had many, including European citizens that wanted to move to Romania for a lower tax bracket. We still have, I mean, taxes in Romania are not so high at the moment. Other EU countries have their taxes a lot higher than Romania. Uh, and we have many US Canadians that are coming to Romania. Some are married with Romanian citizens and they are
Okay.
coming here just for family reunification. And some are coming here for retirement purposes, where they want to spend more time in the Schengen area. We have
Hmm.
this type of no nomadic lifestyle, to say so, but they incorporate and they put everything in Romania. We form a company for them, and under that company, they can buy a car. They can get their EU driver's license if you want to exchange your US or Canadian one for a EU one, you can get that done also. And then they are going 3 months at a time in each and every country. They are visiting, making vlogs, publishing, making very good memories. And we have clients that are now heading towards their fifth year and they can apply for permanent residency. And
Oh,
who knows,
wow.
maybe they apply for citizenship.
That's incredible. This is really a lot of good information. So, because I've done videos in the past about your driver's license and how difficult it is to get a new driver's license in Europe sometimes, depending on the places. And did I hear you say that if you open up a company, you can get a driver's license and exchange your Canadian one with the Romanian one? Is that what you
Yeah,
said? Even do you have to take tests or you just exchange it because it's a reciprocity agreement?
it's a reciprocity agreement. We change it without giving you any test. We believe that if you got a driver's license in Canada and you drove in
Wow.
Canada, you can drive in Romania also. You don't need to retake a test for driving here. But the procedure is a bit more complex. So
Right.
what we do is when you come to Romania, we have a special agreement with 3 or 4 countries, but US and Canada are the main beneficiaries, to say so, in which we don't request a long-term visa from them.
Okay.
Given that we do not request a long-term visa, there are some exceptions. There is a preliminary agreement that you must receive from the Ministry of Economy for investment for investors. This agreement is not required for US and Canadians who are applying for visas. So practically, the best ways of coming from most of the ways of coming to Romania, to say so, would be family reunification. If you're married with a Romanian citizen, that is the cheapest option that you ever would have. Or if you're married with a EU citizens, we also have that. If your spouse is Italian, for example, you can both move to Romania. We get for the EU citizen the residency, and then you are being attached to their residency. Uh, then we have the business part where, and this is available only for US and Canadian citizens, where you open a company in Romania, you become an investor, and you get your first residency permit 1 year renewable based on the company. Be aware that from the second year, you need to do some minimal economic activity. We discuss with our clients this, and I'm telling them, hey, look, you need around 2,000 euro income in the company. You can write off the immigration services, you can write off accounting and so on. So practically the company will show a bit of economic activity, but overall you are gonna be probably on zero or at a slight loss yearly, so you'll not pay any taxes on the company, and that will keep your residency permit running. And based on the residency permit, you go with your driver's license and you exchange your driver's license, your Canadian US driver's license, to a Romanian one. And then you have a EU driver's license that is valid in the whole of Europe without any issue.
Hmm. Wow, this is good news for a lot of Canadians that might want to get into Europe and start with Romania basically and see what they can do there. Tell me a little bit more about the visa. Like, Is there like what are the rules about it again? You have to have an income of 2,000 euros a year?
No, so there is no visa to say so.
Okay.
Usually how it goes for any non-EU citizen would be that you have a reason to move to Europe. That would be an work agreement. It can be
Yep.
a spouse. It can be, I don't know, an NGO. You got admitted to the high school or something like that.
Yeah.
So for US and Canada, you don't need that preliminary procedure. You don't need a visa at all. When you come to Romania, you just take your passport, you go to the Romanian beach side or Romanian mountains, and you say, hey, look, I really love it here. As long as we have around for Bucharest now, only strictly for Bucharest, as long as you are in your 30th day in Romania and you decide that, hey, look, I like it here, I want to stay here, and the client calls us, by the 90th day, he would have a residency permit in hand. We have even clients who are coming to us around the 60th day, 70th day, but I'm
Due
telling
to
them
them.
that, hey, look, nothing bad is gonna happen to you. You might get a fine. When you go to the immigration office, let us do the talking. You smile and be polite.
Do they have to know Romanian?
No.
Okay, so you said by the 30th day, and is that because you need 2 months to do the process? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can
Technically,
do it. Sorry.
you should apply the immigration within the first 60 by the 60th day while you're in Romania, and they take around 30 days to give you a decision.
And
If
there's no
you
cost to
go
this? Like they don't have to pay anything for this? I mean, obviously for the except for the legal services.
legal company incorporation, there are taxes that are included. I mean, when we usually send an offer,
So
you
I think
rough
my
idea on
question
the
is more
cost.
about I'm very used to like you said, this is not a visa. It's just the fact that you're either an American or a Canadian.
Mhm.
You come to Romania, you like it, and you think, maybe I want to stick around some more. And in
Yep.
order to do that, they would contact your firm and you would help them with the application to get residency. Is that right?
We help them with the company incorporation, application for residency. We go with them to the immigration office.
Okay.
We give them all the advice on the issuing of the residency pickup and so on. Practically, what I usually ask from our clients, there are some client information forms that they need to fill out.
Hmm.
They'll sign some paperwork for the company incorporation, and they'll need a long-term lease agreement. You cannot go with an Airbnb.
Right. Okay. So then you have to rent an apartment or some property or whatever. And there's no like income proof that they can sustain themselves in Romania
Yeah,
at all. That's different, a lot different from what I've
I
seen in other
know.
countries. Is this like a secret that nobody knows? Are we going to open up the doors to Romania? This is incredible. Okay.
Um,
So, and then that's
many,
you get, sorry.
many people from Romania know about this. I mean, I know clients who are going through this and they are taking this route. But I mean, there is a maintenance to the visa attached to it. You will need to get health insurance in Romania,
Okay.
and health insurance in Romania is somewhere around 500 euro for the whole year. It,
Wow,
it's a
that's
lot
a,
cheaper.
yeah. Well, I mean, in
But
Canada, we're covered a lot, but I guess for the American friends here, they have to pay a lot of health insurance.
Uh, it covers quite a lot. I mean, you can get free medicine if you need surgery, any type of surgery, you can get that. You can also get hospitalization, emergency care. It
Yeah.
covers pretty much everything. However, there are some things that are not covered 100% like prescriptions that you get from the doctor.
Yeah.
Or if you go to the ER room and they give you a prescription that is not through the normal system. If you want a prescription that is through the normal system, you need to have a general practitioner, and they usually give you medicine that is covered by the state.
Right, right. And this health insurance is just for Romania, right? It's not for all of Europe.
Uh, it's for Romania, but you can apply for a EU health insurance card.
Okay.
EUHI, if you search for it, you'll find it. It's a blue plastic card which certifies that you are insured in Romania. It's valid usually for 2 years. And with that, you can use it in any EU country for emergency care.
Right. Okay. Good. So this is really interesting. I want to talk about it a bit more, I think, because I think I want to just make sure it's very clear, especially for the non-resident, because, Romanians with the EU citizenship, that's fine. They go back home. They just want to stay there. But yeah, you wanted to say something about that?
We come back to, is your civil status up to date? Because if it's
Mm.
not up to date, you will still be seen as a non-EU citizen and you must respect the 90 days in 180 days.
Okay. What does that
Otherwise,
mean? What does that mean, your civil status? You don't, your passport's expired. Is that what means or?
you got married and you did not register your marriage, or you got divorced and you did not register the divorce. They
Okay.
will not update your documents like your passport, your Romanian ID card. The most they would give you is a temporary ID card, which is valid only in Romania. Uh, if you're going to Bulgaria with that and the police pulls you over,
Mm.
you could be in quite a bit of a trouble. I
Hmm.
don't know if
Hmm.
they would give you a return decision to Canada or something like that, but it's gonna be a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
We have even non-EU citizens, but they were in the migration detention camp, to say so,
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
uh, for not respecting their stay and saying that they do not want to leave the EU. And the Romanians said, "Oh, okay, don't worry, we have a special place for
we have
you."
a place for you to, yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Just
So I would advise, if you're a Romanian citizen and you want to move back to Romania, make sure that you have all your documents to date, or at least start the process to bring them to date a few years before your move to Romania.
a few years
Don't,
before. Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So,
We have problems now with the Romanian authorities, and documents are taking a lot longer. So, yeah.
so this is something you can't, your firm can or cannot help with. Let's say if there's a divorced couple in Canada, they can't just come to you in Bucharest and say, help us update our stuff. They have to start the process a couple of years in advance, you're saying?
I am starting the process when they are coming
Right.
to our door, to say so. But when I start
Oh,
telling them what documents they need, what's the format, what we need to see in those documents, and so on, and what would be the problems if we don't have everything in documents, they're like, okay, it's gonna take time. Okay,
right.
we are here. We are waiting for you for your next actionable step.
Gotcha.
And I
Because they need
get
to translate the document, probably the divorce decree. They have to translate into Romanian, get it officially stamped by, translating
Get an
services.
apostille beforehand,
Yeah.
see what is written in the divorce,
Right.
see if we are still in contact with the former husband. Maybe we can get a power of attorney from both
Right.
of the
Okay.
spouses and represent both of them in Romania, because it's a non litigate they cannot change the outcome of the divorce. The divorce will be the same.
Yeah.
But the Romanian courts want to know that the other party was legally cited. They were served for being the litigation.
Okay. Now,
So
now, if I'm a Canadian or American and I don't want to open up a company in Romania, I just want to Is there other visa options that are available, or is it not recommended?
Not really. We have only one US citizen who is very old. He came to Romania and he found a doctor who gave him a letter of acceptance for treatment.
Gotcha.
So
Okay, so it's
practical,
extenuating circumstances, basically. Like it's not one of
yeah.
them.
Actually, we had the three US citizens going through that procedure, so we know how to go through it. But it's a bit of a it depends on your nerves and on your budget.
Okay,
Worst case situation would be to be on low nerves and low budget.
okay. So then let's go back then to this business thing because it's almost like a visa. How much do you have to invest? You said
Nothing.
you don't have to. Okay, so basically, if I'm taking me as an example and I'm pretending I'm not a Romanian citizen, I I incorporate, I get a name for the company, whatever. You help me with all that stuff.
Mhm.
I exchange my driver's license. Am I now a resident of Romania? Is
No,
that
no,
true?
no. So first comes the business incorporation.
Yeah,
Once the business is incorporated, you must be physically in Romania.
yeah,
The business incorporation, we can do it while you are in Canada. So you don't need to step
yeah.
inside of Romania. We do everything remotely. Once you arrive in Romania, you will find a lease agreement, a long-term lease agreement, in order to be
A physical address, basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
We apply for at the immigration office, and then you get the residency permit. Based on the residency permit, you get the driver's license. I know in Canada you don't have ID cards.
We do in
Uh,
some provinces, like in Ontario where I live, they do have ID cards, especially for seniors that don't drive anymore and they need an ID card for the bank. It's an
oh,
official ID
okay.
card. Yeah.
Uh, for us, ID cards are the stepping stone of the system. So you legally do not exist in Romania until you get your ID card.
Okay.
The residency permit, it's a temporary residency permit valid for 1 year, renewable, and that would be the first step for you as an individual. But as a preliminary step, we incorporate the business in Romania. So business incorporation, residency, and then tell us what you want to do and we'll help you out. Maybe you want to buy
Okay.
property. We can help you with that. I mean, you can, if you want to invest money in Romania,
You
there
can
is
do that too.
nothing stopping you.
So I guess I want to dive into, and you may not be able to answer this, or maybe you can, because a lot of the questions that I get from Canadians who are looking to go abroad is the tax situation, because they're either a
Mhm,
tax resident of Canada or they're a tax resident of, let's say, Romania. And I know between Canada and Romania, there is an agreement, there's a tax
mhm,
treaty. But that's what most of the questions will come up with to say, okay, I've now incorporated, I've got a physical address in Romania with a 1 year lease, I've got my
mhm.
residency card. Do you know, can you answer this question or do you have to refer, like after 183 days or 6 months, are they now considered they have to pay taxes in Romania?
No.
No. Okay.
Romania works by tax residency by request. So practically, you need to go there and submit the paper, what you have and what happens in your life, and what you are still owning in Canada, what you own in Romania, and so on. If you have in Romania only your residency permit and you use this company incorporation only for your residency, we have a part there at the end of the tax request, and we can say, hey, look, I'm in Romania temporary. I plan to live in 2 or 3 years. I do not want to change my tax residency. I pay all my taxes in Canada because I have there all my assets. And usually they go like, okay, let you have your tax residency in Canada. Uh, Romania is quite relaxed with regards to the tax residency. The problems that I've seen in practice were like uh, Greek citizens coming to Romania, getting a company incorporated for lower taxes were getting employed here, and then the Greek authorities would not recognize their taxes from Romania.
Mm.
Uh, as long as you have your taxes paid in Canada, your income in Canada, and now it depends what type of income you have. The only assets that have a very tax risk would be selling shares on brokerage accounts.
In
If you
Romania.
have just a pension, like a Social Security for US citizens,
Are you talking about brokerage accounts in US or in Romania?
in US, not
Okay,
Romania.
so if in US
Most
or
of our
Canada,
clients
yeah,
don't invest in Romania. They had their working
investment.
year
Yeah,
in the background, and they are coming for being relaxed, having a easier
yeah.
life and not being stressed. So their money comes from pension accounts, they come from brokerage accounts, they come from 401ks, Roth IRAs for Americans. I know Canada has similar.
RRSPs. Yeah, we have RRSPs and TFSAs. Oh, the whole alphabet soup. We have them.
E- Exactly. Most of them are considered pensions, and pensions are not taxed by Romania according to the treaty.
Yeah,
As
because
long
we tax
as,
them here. Canada taxes them before it goes out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even if Canada would, for example, we have a very interesting situation for dividends from the US. If you're a US citizen and you get dividends up to 20,000 euro, I think they don't 20,000 US dollars. They don't get that taxed. In Romania, we tax everything from $1. So technically, you should be paying in Romania if you're a tax resident in Romania for the income from the dividends and from the income from selling shares via your private mortgage account. Yeah, personal
Mortgage.
more
Mortgage.
investments.
Okay. Investments. Gotcha. Okay.
But what comes from taxes, I mean, from pensions, it's not Romania's part to tax those.
Okay, so there is a little bit of a gray area that I'm not understanding. So, and maybe you can clarify. So, if I'm in Romania, I can say, you know what, I don't want to pay tax. I'm a resident of Canada. I'm here temporarily. I'm doing all my taxes in Canada. So don't tax me here. There's something you can sign that, or there's not.
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
that.
And that's like, but then you also said earlier that after 1 year of this application for residency under the corporation, then you have to start showing income in Romania from the
In
corporation.
the
Is that
company,
okay?
the
Okay, so
company is different from the individual.
okay,
The Romanian company gives money to the individual, to the person who is coming. For example, you, Serge, if you'd be only a Canadian citizen, the company would give you money only if it would be on profits and you want to take the profits out of the company. If the company is not on profits,
right. So if we're thinking about someone who just wants to retire in a nice country with mountains and museums and restaurants and everything like that, one way that we can do it is they do this process, they do the corporation, they pay the fees for setting it up, the health insurance, get the residency card, enjoy Romania for a year, and then the next year they got to throw up some YouTube channels, or they got to do some sort of work, or something piecemeal, write off the debts, the service costs for the legal and the accounting, or if there's a profit. I mean, who doesn't like profit? Let's say there's a profit, you take it out, a thousand euros. Then, if you're still tax resident of Canada, well, that's your worldwide income that you're going to be taxed on in Canada as an individual. But your corporation has taxes in Romania. It's getting a little bit complicated for me.
yeah, you need to separate a bit the company from the individual and
Yeah.
see, for example, if you have a YouTube channel and you want the revenue of the YouTube channel to go to your Romanian corporation and say that that is income. I mean, it's gonna be hard to have around 2,000 euro per year from YouTube. When you go with that amount, you're gonna be good.
No, this is really interesting though. It's definitely something to look into more and more because a lot of North Americans do not look at Romania. And but I have noticed as a Romanian, I'm proud when I see YouTube shows or channels of Americans like enjoying meat in Bucharest
Oh
or something,
yeah.
or they're trying Romanian snacks and they go, man, and then they say things like, "Don't come to Romania, just don't come." But the joke is that don't come because I don't want you to come here to see how good it is, right? So it makes me proud about that. And I think more and more people are getting interested on the behind the curtain because it was like Dracula territory back then, right? It was like nobody knows what's back there and it's not safe. But I think the eyes of the world is opening to see that what Europe already knows. Lots of German tourists in Romania, lots of English tourists in Romania, lots of those, and now it's spreading.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tamed wilderness to say so. I mean,
Yeah, I like the way you say
you
that.
can
It's a tamed
you can
wilderness. Yeah.
exactly. And I I like traveling. I mean, I cannot hide this. I like traveling. I think S Southeast Asia and Africa and South America are, I just want to go there, just have a feeling of what's around there and then understand a bit better how Romania situates. Um, at least now I can compare it with parts of Middle East, not all of the Middle East, and Turkey, Europe, Northern Africa. You have in Romania a mix of Eastern, a mix of Western Europe. I mean, you'll have clean streets, not like uh, German standards, but they are clean.
Hmm.
You'll not have rocks and trash on the roads or near the roads. But when you go into a restaurant, it's not gonna be something owned by mom and pop from Italy for hundreds of years. It's gonna be something new, some guy that showed up and started something and is full of passion and he
Yep.
likes eggs. And look what I can do with eggs. Have you ever tasted this?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're building. I mean, think about it. We exited the regime in 1990. Nobody had businesses back then.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't think there are restaurants from back in the 1990s were we have, if you come to Bucharest, for example, you have Hanu Berari, we call it. It's a very old restaurant in a building from the 1800s. But that's one of a kind, and they have a few more around town. Um, but most of them are recent. They are perfecting their techniques. They are perfecting everything. They are trying to be on top, getting the best recipes and so on. I'm passionate about food, traveling. When clients come to me and, okay, what do you want? Move to Romania. 20 minutes we discuss about this. We make another 10, 15 minutes where you need to settle in Bucharest and what are the good zones, bad zones. And then, hey, do you want some restaurants to know in Bucharest? And I have a full list. My map is full of startups of restaurants.
You could be a tour guide.
Yeah, I try. It's hard to go to a new country. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's something.
It's true. And we don't realize how difficult it is if you haven't done it. But I really applaud the people that make that attempt because it's not just logistical and financial; it's also emotional.
Yeah,
Leaving back people that you knew, and maybe they're upset that you're deciding to do this. Like, how could you do this? Or you know the grocery stores, and all of a sudden you're going somewhere new, and it could be lonely. I've had a lot of people telling me that they moved over and they're lonely because they don't have new groups to talk with or something like that. So
You'd be amazed that's why I'm telling people, hey, look, I know Bucharest is not gonna be the cheapest town you're gonna live in and stuff like that. But we have a nice expat area. I mean, you come here and there are expat groups. There's Snap Internationals and they are doing meetups and so on. And not that you need to go through those apps and go that, but it opens the doors and you meet a few expats. Then you
yeah,
have a circle that you meet up with and you go for a beer or you go around town and see all um, the old houses and the old quarters of Bucharest and stroll around the streets. There are many things that you can do around here and depends on the person who is moving. We have
yeah,
even, I mean, if you're set to move 100%, you will move 100% and you'll take it as a permanent vacation to say so.
yeah.
But you can always go back and see your friends for a month and then come back and continue your vacation and so on.
Yeah, it's true. I don't want to keep you forever, but I do want to ask you one more question, maybe on the corporates, like actual. I see you've done a few videos. I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now. You talk about work permits for people coming to Romania, and you also focus on corporate law, right?
Yeah.
Like not just for individuals looking to retire, maybe, or get residency, but you do work for corporations. Can you tell me a little bit about that in case we've got some interest there?
On the corporation side, what I can tell you now would be if it makes sense for somebody to move a corporation or start a business here would be the workforce. Technically, it's a lot cheaper than Western Europe, Canada, or America. In Moldova part, we have a lot of fashion shops, or at least people who are very skilled in working in the manufacturing of garments,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
quite experienced part around there. The taxes are at the moment, if you are an IT guy and you're making somewhere between 20,000 and 100,000 euro, we have a special tax regime for corporations. It's called the micro enterprise, and that tax regime is 1 or 3% on revenue. The standard rate is 16%, but that is on profits. And usually that is for those who have a very small corporation or want the immigration side of things, or they have a very large business and they are doing more than 100,000. But between 20 and 100,000, we go with the micro enterprise. So that's the only business tax. You'd have VAT to take into account after 60,000 euro, but that probably will go up to 100,000 this year or the next year. Uh, the VAT is it's like a sales tax from the US. I think Canada has also some sales tax,
mm-hmm,
but it's a bit more complicated for entrepreneurs to figure it out and put their fingers on it.
mm-hmm,
Once you have the profits in the company, if you draw down on those profits and put it in your personal account, we have dividend tax, which is again 16% dividend tax. And lastly, depending on the net dividends that you receive from a corporation in Romania, you would have to pay some additional health insurance. So we talked about the basic health insurance, which is around 500 euro per year.
mm-hmm.
Then we have two more brackets. If your dividends are over 10,000 euro, there's a threshold of 10 at 10,000 euro. You need to pay 10% of the bracket. So 10% of 10,000 euro, it's 1,000 euro in health insurance. And there's another bracket 20,000 euro. If your dividends are higher than 20,000 euro, you are paying 2,000 euro in additional taxes for health insurance. So you either pay 500, 1,000, 2,000 in health insurance as an individual. However, if you have 1 million euro in dividends, you are still paying 16% on profits, on dividends, and you are still paying 2,000 euro for health insurance. That's one of the wonders of the Romanian taxation. We have fixed rates. We don't have anything progressive. And I don't know if we are going to go to have progressive rates any time in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to know that this is the current laws and the current rules, right? But it's good to
Yeah.
know that you've got focus on both the individual and the corporation. Do you have any sense of, are there a lot of foreign interest from Canada and the US to set up shop in
Yeah.
Romania? Yeah.
We have some clients, at least in the IT sector.
Hmm. Hmm.
Many clients that are coming from the IT, they like it here because, uh, again, they can find anything that they want.
Yep.
The cost of living is a lot lower. They can travel if they want to go to London for a meeting. It's a few hours away. If they want
Yeah.
to go to Dubai, now Dubai is not
Not safe right now, but
sought,
yeah. We'll, we'll talk.
sought after.
Yeah.
Um,
So that means you also must have, besides Canada and the US, I mean, the UK is not part of the European Union anymore, right? So you must have a lot of work with people from there coming over. Is that right?
yeah, most of the UK clients that we have, either they come as as employees.
Hmm. Hmm.
However, the employment law now just changed, and it's a
I
lot.
saw your video. I didn't watch it all, but I saw you're starting to talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are having some middlemen. It's gonna be a lot more difficult to get them to Romania, but there are free procedures according to the new law, depending on how they want to come to Romania. Um, So that's gonna be with work, family unifications. We have Brexit beneficiaries, and yeah, that's.
Remus, there's so much we can get into, but I'm going to stop it there because we've talked about a lot, and I want to engage the audience to say, if you have more questions, put them in the comments. I'm going to be sharing the contact details for R&R Bucharest. I encourage you all to check out their YouTube channel as well. When this video is up, you'll see a collaboration, but there's Remus talking about the Romania work permits, and there's a lot of good information that you can check. Um, and I guess I want to thank you, Remus. I really appreciate the fact that you jumped onto this when I reached out to you via WhatsApp. I found you on TikTok, and you had your information there. Really good information. Uh, I do love this kind of collaboration. So if any last parting words before we end this off?
Thank you for reaching out to us. It's been a pleasure to have this discussion with you. If anybody is looking for moving to Europe or having a European residency permit, which is I don't know. I know about Greece, France, Spain, and so on. The upkeep of the residency permits are horrendous and so on. But it's not the cheapest thing that you're gonna do and write about it. It's not gonna be the most expensive thing, but it's an experience that you'll definitely write about. I mean, and you know what you want to do with your retirement, with the years that you have, and so on. Romania is here, and it's a chapter that waits to be written.
I agree 100%. And before I end it off, one last thing it's very important, our disclaimer. Now, while I'm a financial professional and Remus is a lawyer, what we've talked about here today is purely for educational and entertainment purposes to get the real deal for you specifically. Don't just listen to what we said here and start acting on it. Reach out to your professionals like Remus and deal with it on a one-on-one basis. All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you
That's it.
too. Have a nice day.
Thanks.